Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 21st. You have this appreciation card and this discovery card, which is your card, by the way. So this is Mercury in Sagittarius, and a lot of you are, Sagittarius is known for adventure, exploration, all sorts of stuff. You show up right here as the Temperance card as well. So I do think it would be a good time for you to be open to discovering new ideas. The Eight of Wands would be like being open to discover new directions in life, which I also feel could be very good for you. Is like, being open. It's kind of like just being open to believing that things can be different, which is hard, right? If you have experienced the same story over and over and over again in a certain area of your life, could be anything, right? Could be love, could be business, whatever, then it is hard to believe that things can be different. And I feel that's what this reading is saying. It's like saying you need to believe deep down inside that things can change, that things can be different. And I feel if you do that, then they will be different. Also, obviously, it looks like a very good love reading here, Sag. So, yeah, I mean, here you go. Can't make that up. So, yeah, definitely could be love if you're looking for it. In your current general energies for the week, you have the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Temperance card. Eight of Wands is a quick conclusion or quick success, but I kind of feel this is about focusing in a direction. All those wands are all pointing in one direction. So this could be, you kind of focusing on something that brings success into your life. It could also be love coming in for you as well, because the Eight of Wands can be communication, and so you could be receiving communication from a person. Now, the thing about the Eight of Wands is that those wands are all in a different position. Like they're all, they're all going to hit their target at a different time, right? Sometimes I feel with the Eight of Wands that we need to not get too caught up in like the order that things happen, right? And so what I mean by that is like sometimes I think we tell ourselves a story about whatever it is that we want in life, and we say this needs to work this way, but usually it doesn't, right? So I feel like the Eight of Wands is saying like just because things aren't going, if you're aiming towards something, like if things don't go exactly according to plan, that doesn't mean that it isn't working. It just means that it's not going according to your plan. And that's okay. So I feel like this is kind of like saying, don't get too excited. Like if you meet a person in love, it's like maybe it's not going exactly how you thought, but at the same time, as long as things are positive, then don't get too excited about it. Just allow things to happen, right? I just for whatever reason I feel like the Eight of Wands is saying like don't get lost in the sauce. Don't get too caught up in the details of like how things are going to work out or something like that. I don't know. You have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. So I feel for a lot of you, this could be a new beginning popping into you. I have that Blender song popping into my head here. I never pay attention to songs that pop into my head, but it's popping into my head hard. It's by Eve 6. That I can't remember the name of that song. It might be Blender, but again, that song is popping into my head for some reason. And so there you go. You might want to go listen to that. But the Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. And so I feel that there is definitely a new beginning that's coming in for you here with the Ace of Wands. As always, Sag, I think would be an amazing time for you to get more creative. Like I would be moving, instead of like moving towards logical energy, not that there's anything wrong with being logical. And as a matter of fact, with Uranus and Gemini, I believe that especially you and Gemini should be both. Like you have to be both creative and logical. You have to mix the two things together. I think everybody has to do that right now, but what I would say is I feel that it would be good for you to like maybe move a little bit more in the direction of creativity on things. So like if you're working on any new projects, even if you're dating people and all that other stuff, it's like do new stuff. Like it's like everybody always just like goes on dinner dates and all this other boring crap, right? It's like why not do something different? Why not mix it up? And I feel the Ace of Wands is saying life will be a lot more exciting if you do that. You have the you showing up here with the Temperance card. I kind of feel like you're getting something you've been waiting for a long time. We even have two sixes here, Six of Cups and Six of Swords. If you've been watching me for a while, you know I love two sixes because two sixes is kind of like confirmation for your path. It basically says you're going in the right direction. You're doing the right things that you need to be doing at this time. So, definitely very positive with the with the Knight of Swords, or sorry, the Nine of Swords, this is good because Nine of Swords is usually a card of repeating a cycle, but I feel like the 2 6s are kind of canceling out that Nine of Swords. We'll talk more about it in a minute. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles. Definitely, I get this energy of trying to do too much for whatever reason. I kind of said this on the Eight of Wands. You know, it's more like saying allow things to work. Two of Pentacles is like trying to work something into existence, which never works. You know, it's like, trust me, one of the things, you know, I always tell a story. My mom used to piss me off all the time because I would say that, you know, I used to tell her how I would be working so hard on my business and like nothing would be changing, and she used to say, "You're working too hard," and it used to piss me right off, Sagittarius, because I'm like, of course I'm working too hard. Like that's how you get things to work. You have to work, you know, and so that used to drive me crazy, right? But that is kind of like what I feel. You're working too hard. Like if something isn't working, it doesn't even have to be work. It could be love. It could be your health, whatever. It's like maybe you're trying too hard. With that Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a very good card, and I don't necessarily feel bad about it in your reading. I think it's, but I am picking up on something about, you know, I think it's good, but I think there's also something else going on in your life where maybe you're trying to force something instead of being more flexible, you know, and so I would continue to be flexible. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Judgment card. Yeah, waking up to something new. I do think this Mercury retrograde is bringing in a lot of light bulb moments for people. You know, it's kind of like a weird retrograde. We had Mars go retrograde in Leo. Mercury's going retrograde in Leo now. And, you know, I'm talking about Mars was last year, you know, when it started. It didn't end till this year. And then next year, we're going to have Jupiter go retrograde in Leo. Weird. You know, it's weird. I think that the universe is clearly trying to get us to, like, wake up to something as well. And so, but again, a lot of people, I think, could be having wake-up moments. Now, I've heard a couple of astrologers kind of, like, say, like, that you know, really, that anything that you want to get started on for, you know, for the next many years, that you probably should have started already. But I kind of feel that everybody is getting one more chance. You know, by the eclipses, I think eclipse season should be rather interesting. You know, both good and bad things going on in the world, I would say, but that's just going to continue until 2033 anyway. And so, you know, it is what it is. But what I would say is I kind of feel that by the eclipses, I think everybody is going to get one more chance to kind of like really, you know, plant a seed towards a dream. But, you know, again, where I'm going with this is you could be waking up to it now. You could even be getting started now with the Judgment card. So, you know, I would plant those seeds on like ideas that you're having. With the Temperance card, you have the High Priestess. Very intuitive time. I've said this to you before, Sagittarius, that I would be writing down your ideas because I think you literally are plugged in to the universe, especially with Uranus and Gemini, your opposite sign. It's going to affect you more than most people. So, you know, those plugged in ideas, those ideas that randomly pop into your head, I would write them down. I'm probably going to be saying this to you from now until 2033 because it's probably one of the most important things that you could do in your life. So do it. I don't say this because I enjoy hearing, you know, myself talk and hearing myself say it. I say it because it's important. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this Deep Knowing card and this Orphan card. I kind of feel like you're getting over something here. You know, it's like, you know, it's almost like, imagine if you ran into one of your exes that really hurt you. Like, you know, I think we all have that one person, you know, or, you know, maybe two people that we really loved that really hurt us, right? And it's like, imagine if you ran into that person and they were eating a hot dog and they had mustard all over their shirt and like a little bit right here, you know, as well. It's like, that's kind of what I see here with the Nine of Swords. And also this right here, it's like maybe someone, it doesn't even have to be a person. I think this could be anything. It's like, I think you're seeing the mustard on someone's shirt. But, you know, this could also be a situation or, you know, a job that you lost or something like that. It's like you're seeing the mess, you know, and I think this is a good thing because the Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare. The Nine of Swords is like a round-and-round situation. I feel like those 2 6s are kind of canceling this Nine of Swords out, like I already said. It's not that they're really canceling it out, but again, it's almost like I feel intuitively that you're being shown the mustard, like I just said, Sag. And really, that's all I have to say about the Nine of Swords. Like, you're realizing that something that left you out in the cold probably wasn't as good as you thought it was in the first place, right? You have the Six of Cups. Definitely could be a new soulmate coming in for you. I mean, you have a lot of love here. You literally have the Lovers, Ace of Cups to the Page of Cups with the Knight of Cups here. That definitely could be a soulmate. A lot of people read the Six of Cups as a person from the past, but again, I kind of feel like you're seeing, it's like you're no longer being, wearing those rose-colored glasses of nostalgia. It's like sometimes I think we think about an ex and we only think about the good things, but it's like when we see them with the mustard on their shirt, we're just like, yep, definitely was a good thing that they left me, right? And I kind of feel that with the Six of Cups. I also feel that the Six of Cups, like I said, Six of Cups is a good card. It could just be a soulmate coming in for you. So if you're looking for love, definitely could just be a solid connection for sure. You have the Lovers. Again, obviously, could be a solid connection. It could be a Gemini that's coming in for you if you're looking for love. It could be any sign. This is a general reading. Also, Earth really stands out to me. You do have a little bit of water here. I mean, sure, could be a water sign out. I don't really know I don't know any Sagittarius water couples that I can think of. I know a lot of Sagittarius for some reason. I know, I have a lot of fire in my life, right? But what I would say is I don't know of any that are dating water signs. But sure, take it how it resonates, right? So, could be a very strong connection. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Emperor. Yes, this is probably something that's been controlling you for a long time. It's kind of weird. I always say that, Sagittarius, you're like the last sign that I do most weeks. Sometimes I go in reverse order, just depends on how I'm feeling. But again, there is a big benefit for you going last in my readings, because the benefit is that you get the benefit of all the readings I've done before you. Like usually it takes me, I'm a slow person, so it takes me like 12 readings to finally have the realizations of like what the energy is trying to say. Everybody's had the Devil this week except for you so far, and maybe like one other person, I think. And so it's kind of like a weird week. I do think that there could be something weird that happens in the world, like some sort of event or whatever, having to do with control. I don't know what that means. I think there is a lot of control. Like they're trying to, clearly there's a lot of control stuff, right? So there you go. Hopefully we don't end up under AI control with all the stuff they're trying to do. But, there could be something about that. Now, on a personal level, I think that there's like two things going on here. It's almost like you're not trying to control things too much with that Eight of Wands. Remember, we said that with the Eight of Wands and Two of Pentacles. I was basically saying that. But I also feel like you could be seeing something that has had too much control over your life, and you could be eliminating it because of it, right? So there you go. Which would be good. With the Six of Cups, you have the Queen of Cups. A lot of these Cups cards starting to show up here. Outside of love, big picture, all these Cups cards, especially the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Cups, say follow your heart. So we are in a very heart-based time. I think that really our heart has been trying to guide us all in a direction. If we move in that direction, we will find success. Queen of Cups could also be you kind of like finding love, like finding a very nurturing connection. So it could be a very kind, caring connection that's coming in for you. With the Lovers, here you go. You have the Sun. Damn. I mean, if this is love, I definitely feel this could be something that will make you very happy. It could also be a fire sign coming in for you, or it could be someone who has a lot of fire in their chart. You have the Emperor and the Sun, obviously. So, that's what I'll say there. It could be someone who makes you very happy. The Sun is someone, something that makes you very happy. Now, I think we are responsible for our own happiness, right? We have to be responsible for our own happiness. I don't really think we should be, that people should make us happy, because that doesn't work out very well at all. I always cringe whenever I hear someone say happy life, happy wife, happy life, because, any of my wives in the future, she can make herself happy, and I'm going to make myself happy, because I can't be responsible, and the other person should not be responsible for your own happiness either, right? So I always cringe when I hear people say that, because it's like, well, that's definitely not going to freaking work, because you can't make someone happy, and vice versa, right? But what I would say, Sagittarius, is that I do think this could be a connection where you are just happy to be in the connection, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that, as long as they're not the, total source of your happiness. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this card that says, you are enough. You do not have to give more. Yes, there you go. You have the spend time in nature. It says, let the beauty of nature refresh your soul. Yes, I definitely feel, I've been saying it for weeks, that we all need to go touch some grass, right? Believe it or not, I've been getting some sunshine. I'm no longer a vampire. Look at that right there. Look at that tan line there, Sagittarius, right? So I've been getting out in the sun, in the grass, in nature. I saw a hawk yesterday. How you can go on my Instagram, it's in my stories. Well, maybe not. I don't know how long stories last anymore, but Anyway, it's like you see all sorts of stuff. You breathe that fresh air. It's good for you. So go touch some grass. You have the Six of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Eight of Cups. The Six of Swords is moving on to calmer shores. It is good things happening after a difficult period of time. So I feel like that kind of energy here where normally I don't say that, which is weird that I just said that. That kind of slipped out. But I do kind of get this like fortune after difficulty vibe off the Six of Swords, which would make sense because again, you could be removing some sort of controlling aspect of your life with that Nine of Swords, and this is leading to improvement, so I feel pretty good about that. I do feel like you're leaving something uncomfortable behind as well. That message is popping into my head here, Sag, so that's good. You have the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is your emotions overflowing, being very happy, which we see a lot of happiness coming in here. The Ace of Cups can easily reach down into the water below it and fill itself back up. So again, the Ace of Cups is a self-filling cup. Again, in love, this would be about you having your own things that you can do to make yourself happy so that a person is not the source of your happiness, right? The cup can, that is true love when you have your own source of happiness, things that you love to do, right? And so I think the Ace of Cups is saying like, sure, there could be love coming in, but I think this is also saying that you need to find your source or sources of happiness, right? I believe that we should all have multiple things that we do that make us happy. And if we find those things, we will be probably very successful. So, that's what I would focus on here. Sorry I can't get this card off the table. This is a newer deck, so these newer decks, they haven't been bent enough yet, and they always stick. But you have the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer make you happy, right? And I really kind of feel like that's a big part of this reading. It's like saying you need to make yourself more happy. You need to cut things out or walk away from things that make you not happy, and you need to add more things into your life that do make you happy. And now, of course, we will always have obligations. We will always have things that we definitely don't want to do that we are obligated to do. And I always tell people, because people always ask, like, what do I do in those situations? I always say you have to find something to focus on about it that does make you happy, whatever it is, right? So when we have those things that are obligations that we have to do, we have to like really kind of make the best out of the situation. And because again, life will never be perfect, and that's why we're all here is to experience that, right? Let's see. I definitely feel like you're moving on from something in a good way with that Six of Swords. Yeah, with the Six of Swords, always with you, with the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is also your card, Sag, so definitely could be a positive change in your fortunes, could be some improvements coming in, which is wonderful. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is like quick success or quick conclusion or moving very quickly towards something. So again, this could be communication in love, which is fine. I think that during Mercury retrograde, it's perfectly fine to start communicating with a person. And you might be saying to yourself, Chris, what are you talking about? Mercury retrograde is always confusing communication and is bad for communication. Yes, exactly. If a person's going to screw up, they're going to screw up right now, right? Which is what you want. So if you're talking to a person, as long as you're not over-investing in a person, if they're going to mess up, they're going to mess up right now. So you might as well get it done and over with, right? Instead of, if you date this person after the retrograde, maybe you have to wait a year to figure that out, right? Like, why not get it over and done with now? With the Eight of Cups, you have the Three of Pentacles. I think you have this card that says you are enough. Three of Pentacles is about putting your work on display where people can see it. So if you're doing anything in work or business, I definitely feel it's time for you to like show off and put your work on display. This could also just be about you just showing off. You have the sun. The sun shines a light on you. And so the sun says that you could be doing things to get more attention. You could be doing things to stand out more. And I would be doing those things more here, Sag. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this lone wolf card. It says, listen to your inner wolf and embrace your sacred wild nature that thirsts for freedom. You have this delicate rose. It says, be willing to honestly say what you feel, no matter how terrifying it may seem. You might need to speak up in love here, especially if you're like interested in a person. I'm not saying that you have to tell this person you're in love with them, but you might have to do something. You might have to do some flirting, or you might have to do something here to get this person to notice you. It could be a person who's a little bit of a lone wolf as well. It's like, so it's funny that I said that your own happiness thing. It's like you might be attracting an independent person. I find that Sagittarius people usually are pretty independent, so you probably aren't going to have a problem with this. Again, I think two independent people work really well together because it's like you don't need each other, you just want each other. But again, you might have to grease these wheels a little bit. You have the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the King of Pentacles. Again, pretty good. Page of Cups is a admirer. It's Page of Cups is my general admirer card, just like a person who is generally interested in you, and probably vice versa as well. Obviously, it's like obviously you're probably attracted to this person. Now, if you don't want love, I would say that this is something that you will love. Even if you do want love, again, if I were you, Sagittarius, this is the order that I would do things. Your love first. What you love. Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups says you create overflow in your life first. Number 2 can be love, right? So whether you want love or not, I think that you need to focus on your own love first. That could mean finding hobbies that cause you to overflow in happiness and joy. It could mean you just find activities or things to do during the day that cause the Ace of Cups overflow, right? And so I would be putting your own love first anyway. But again, that's what I would do with this card. You have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is a knight in shining armor. So again, definitely could be love. I kind of feel like you probably know who this person is. They're probably in your energy. You have the Eight of Wands right next to it. Well, you have the Eight of Wands twice. And Eight of Wands to me is a card of socializing. So, this to me says that this could be a person you've already socialized with, or you've already communicated with this person for most of you. Now, obviously, that might not be true for all of you. Maybe for some of you, this is clearly a new person that you haven't met yet or just haven't talked to yet. But definitely could be a person that you already have, seen. Knight of Cups is about getting started, but, definitely very good. You have the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is also good for love because I find that King of Pentacles people usually want something permanent. They want to build something that is like built to last. And so I definitely feel you could be attracting a person who wants to build something to last or that will last. Usually they're very secure and stable as well. So, you could be attracting like a very secure, stable person with this King of Pentacles, which is obviously a good thing for sure. Let's see. Here you go. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Hangman. It's like this is like one of those situations where you're waking up to a person or you're becoming aware of a person. For some of you, I hesitate to say this, but I'm wondering if you're falling in love with a person. Like over time, it's like this could be a friend that you have fallen in love with. It could be a person that you just know that you have fallen in love with. The reason I say this is because the Hangman is about, a new perspective. And sometimes, I think that love at first sight is BS, right? For the most part, they've actually done studies on this, and most people who actually stay married for the long haul and that are legitimately happy in their marriage did not fall in love at first sight, right? They've studied this, and it's usually the third date or the fourth date that they fall in love with the person. And so it's I don't think it's a bad thing that you have grown to fall in love with a person over time, or have become interested in a person. That's definitely for some of you. For others, again, you're going to keep getting the Hangman. I think I said this to you in one of your last readings. With Uranus and Gemini, it's all about new perspectives in all areas of life. So if I were you, I would be exploring new perspectives. Literally, if you just come up with new ideas, or if you all of a sudden come up with new directions in life that you want to move in, see what happens. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups. I think you're walking towards fulfillment. Eight of Cups would normally say you're walking away from things that no longer serve you, right here. But the Eight of Cups and the good stuff would say you're walking towards fulfillment. So I think you are probably walking towards something that's going to fulfill you. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Fool. Yeah, it's maybe you have to do something to capture this person's attention. I do feel that. I'm not saying you have to tell this person you're in love with them or whatever, but again, the Fool would say you have to take the risk of looking foolish. You have to do something to capture someone's attention, so I would. You have this Barrel card. It says you feel something is lacking in your life, perhaps money, love, or goals. Whatever it is, I would move towards it with that Ace of Cups. Again, it's going to be different for all of you. It doesn't have to be love. It looks like love, but it could just be your heart, like we already said. So, again, whichever one it is, I would find. One thing I will say as well, and I'm kind of cheating a little bit, I feel as a collective, based off the astrology, a lot of people are returning to goals. I think that since maybe 2019, or I don't know, I would really say maybe the past 3 years. I don't even even know what 3 years ago was. It's like since COVID, I've totally lost my track of time. But so maybe since like 2022, 2023, I feel like that's when people started to feel a lack of inspiration. 2022, 2023, like not feeling as motivated, not having a goal or something to accomplish. And the good news is, I think this year, or maybe more towards like October, I feel that people might be feeling a little bit of pressure to get things done and stressed out, but at the same time, I feel kind of good about it because I feel that people are going to be picking a goal. People are going to be feeling motivated again to work towards something, which is good. You have this ladder card that says climbing towards success. There you go. So apparently we don't need that card anymore, but I think you are definitely climbing towards success. That is good. You have this forest card. It says muddled, unclear thinking, Mercury retrograde, write your ideas down. That's it. You have a seahorse that says family matters. Every single person has had a family card. I think it's a good time for family. I think it would be a good time to like reach out to people that you haven't heard from in a while as well. So all that. You have this horse that says short journey on it. I'm a huge fan of variety right now. I've literally been saying this for years, that we need to experience variety. We need a variety of experiences to pull from. If we have that, then we will be very successful. If we don't, we're going to struggle. So I've probably said this to you before because you're a Sagittarius, but it's like I think we all need to be doing things that gives us new experiences. I've been feeling this for a long ass time, and I've been saying it for a long time because I think it's very important. So there you go. Looks really good. I like where this is going. Clearly love for a lot of you. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.